What's up, YouTube? This is Damon, aka the world's worst magician, and today I'll be bringing you a look at the Kings of India playing cards by Humble Raja. Now, this was a Kickstarter campaign, so I'll leave a link in the description to that, and then if there is a link available to the public, I will go ahead and ship that your way as well. So if you're not familiar with these playing cards, basically what they do is take you through the 4 greatest dynasties in the history of India. So as I get close to this tuck, you'll see that it's actually embossed and it has gold foil. But what I wanted you to notice were these 4 names, because these are the 4 dynasties. And then you also have the peacocks and, you know, all the symbols of the playing cards. So there's a lot of detail work that went into this. And then, so in the front, it's written on English, and then in the back, it's written in pardon my ignorance, but I believe it's Hindi, or I think the script is called Devanagari. Sorry if I butchered that, but I believe that's what this is. Please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, and I will get it right. But like I said, it is embossed, and it has the gold foil. So on the top here, again, the name of the company, if I can focus for you, is Humble Raja. So you have the HR for Humble Raja. And then on the inside of the tuck, more embossing, and it just shows you the design information. And then on the inside, this is actually a nice inside to the tuck. And then again, this is a link to where you can find them. So yeah, definitely a nice tuck on these, and let's get into it. All right, so there are no gaffs included, but what I did want to show you is the bonus cards. Make sure I focus in for you. So on the front and back here, what these bonus cards cover is going to be, and they don't really fit together, but I kind of thought they did. So yeah, if you put them together, you can or not. Anyway, they cover the chronological, or I'm sorry, just the historic index of the 4 dynasties that we're talking about. So yeah, if you look over the front and back, you'll get all that information. And then they also do include 2 jokers. They're not reveals. They're just kind of facing each other. Still cool looking. And before I step through these, normally I go through them pretty quick, but I did want to take a second because they took a lot of time and effort on these. So the aces are going to show the name of the dynasty. The king is the actual monarch of that dynasty. The queen is his actual queen. And then the jack is going to be his successor. So this will follow all the way through as far as the court cards and the aces. And then another thing I wanted to point out, because this might look strange to you, is that there are pips in every corner. So this will definitely help you out if you're like me and you spread backwards. One thing is, this is only for the regular cards. The court cards do not have that. And the reason they don't have that, let me go into more detail here, is on the court cards, you'll see up here, am I focused? I am. You have their names. And then they actually went into detail that they're actually wearing, you know, their clothes are from that time period. If they had any inventions or anything like that, that'll be in here as well. It'll show artifacts, their fashion sense, their names, and then patterns and motifs. So there's a lot of work that went into every one of these court cards. So I just wanted to make sure that I pointed that out before I step through. And then, like I said, as I step through, you'll notice that there are pips in all the corners, and this deck is 100% original and from scratch. So the designs are all original. And see, as we get through these, you'll see that. One thing that kind of threw me off is the new deck order. So I don't know if this is a thing from India or what it is, but you'll see that the new deck order is pretty different from the standard. So if you got any information on that, please let me know. And I also reached out to the maker, but I didn't get a response before I made this video. So if I get some more information on that, I will update it, but I do not believe that this is like a mnemonic stack or anything like that. So yeah, pretty cool that they have the pips in all the corners, and it's because, you know, generally when I spread through the cards, it's like this. And that would normally be backwards, and you wouldn't see anything over here. You would see it in the bottom corner. So on these, you can still see it fully, which is cool. As far as the action on these, the fans feel great. And as I'm fanning it, let me show you the back. So it's the same design that was on the tuck, you know, just not gold or embossed, but still cool. Definitely would look good in some cardistry routines. And it is a two-way back. And let me give you a back spread here so you can see that. Focus in. Now, one thing is with this deck, due to the pips being in all the corners, you cannot do a blank fan. So, you know, you're still going to get this information, and then they have the names over here, so that wouldn't have worked either. But as far as any kind of tricks or, you know, any shuffles, cardistry, anything you want to do, these cards, they feel great. They're going to be able to handle anything you throw at them. I still think they'd be good for Magic, and like I said, they kind of have that dual purpose where if you're pushing backwards like I do, you can still see the spread. So yeah, just a cool thing if you're a history buff to kind of get these and see, you know, some of the rulers, the greatest dynasties of India. I don't know much about them, so that's why I was interested in this deck, is just to get a little more information and also get a cool set of cards to learn it on. So yeah, I think that's everything you need to know. Once again, this has been your look at the Kings of India playing cards from Humble Raja, and I'll leave a link to where you can pick these up. All right, see ya. Well, I hope you liked that review. And if you have any questions, magic tricks, or decks that you want to see reviewed, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. As always, I would greatly appreciate it if you would click that like button and subscribe for any future reviews. All right,